from my sheep with the exception of that. That's my neighbor, another sheep down the road. This is the softest one here actually because it's a CBM, which is a softer breed. And the Jacob is a mid-range breed. Within the Jacob, there's finer and coarser fleece. I sort it out. So all of these, except these two, are pretty typical of what I can have produced. And right now, I have been using Creekside Mill, although I did just, and that's in Oregon. I did just take some to the new one down by Yosemite, Mill...
Oakhurst.
Yeah, Oakhurst, but it's Mill... I forget what it's called. Anyway, I just took some to them. They seem to have a shorter turnaround time, and we'll see what we get. The difference with this is the Jacob sheep has a coarser wool on its back leg, and some of the sheep are just coarser, and I keep that coarser fiber out of the rest of it. So this is my rich wool, and if you feel these, well, or you can take them, yeah. If you feel them, and you can see that these are definitely coarser than those. So those would be for, you know, rugs or something like that. Quickly, the other stuff that I have, yeah, you could just put it in the box.
And can these be on a machine, Mariah's machine or Monica's machine, or no?
I can knit all of Robin's.
Well, and one thing, well, here's a question for you, is some of these, I just feel like they're really nice and they're attractive, but they're, to me, sort of loosely spun. I mean, wouldn't for most of what we're doing, even these finer ones, the finer gauge yarns, would you want to, I mean, if you look at them, I'm curious if you'd want a tighter twist, which the mills can do. And it's not for strength so much as just, well, durability in that it doesn't fill as much, right?
Yeah, no.
And I think that the mills sometimes produce this because they're very attractive, and like I sell a lot of this to just people, you know, knitters that want to buy a yarn for a sweater, and this appeals, and if you buy it and it's a tighter twist, or when they buy it off of a cone for, you know, I get some done on cones, you know, the same yarn on a cone that's tight versus this yarn, people don't, this looks more appealing. Anyway, that's a question that I would like feedback on before I have a next batch to send to the mill about just more usable stuff for what we can do. What I weave is this stuff, so using, and all these are my wool with the exception of this one. This was some other person's wool because I do custom weaving for people. The reason these are all fairly heavy gauge is because they're heavy gauge yarn. These are some of the lighter weight pieces that I've done simply because there's a variety. In fact, most of those fibers are in this. There's different weights of wool. And of course, if you weave it light, you get nice light drapey stuff. So that's the kind of stuff I've been weaving. I can weave pretty much anything, and we've been talking, I need some finer gauge yarn. I'm going to do a show in a year and a half, and I want to have fiber shed things, but finer yarns also. I don't want it to just be this.
Can you do cotton too?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So just so you know what else I have, then this pile is just odds and ends of blankets I've done for other people, and I never leave a warp unwoven, so you know if there's any left on the loom, I just do it. And this is not natural dye, but it was just another example of, you know, just fabrics I've done. This one has not been washed at all. That I personally keep piling up thinking, okay, someday I'll make a bag or a vest or something, and I never get around to it, and I probably never will.